Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to the eternal Father of heaven and earth, Yahweh Bashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All praises due. Um, Peace and blessings to the children of the Most High, you Jews out there, and peace and blessings to the Gentiles as well. Um, I pray that y'all, just had a blessed day so far, first and foremost, and you just been meditating and just continue to stay grounded in this word as we get closer and closer from the deliverance of this captivity. um, you know, which with everything is going on, seems like it's around the corner. But I wanted to go over something today. Something that, most of the people on my channel already know about, and was the first thing that they came across, while in this truth. But I felt in the need to do it, just another video about it. Because I know I was doing some cleaning on my channel, and I just want to bring this back out again. Because for one, it's detrimental. It's very important, right? To know who you are, to know what the scriptures and who the scriptures is talking about. And, I've had questions posed about this recently too. Who's the scriptures really about? Who's it talking about? Right? And this is one of the reasons why I had it on my spirit to bring this out. I know. Some of you, most of you on my channel already know this. Okay, all praises, right? But there's somebody out there across the world that doesn't, right? And I pray this reaches to anybody that it needs to reach. Just pray that it does. But I wanted to talk about who the 12 tribes of Israel are, the so-called lost tribes, right? And who is the scriptures really talking about when, it describes the Jews, right? The Hebrews. Because if, y'all don't know, the scriptures is a Hebrew book. It's the holy word of the Most High, and it goes over prophecies, the history, right? To us, it's history. Some of it's in there, right? History goes over prophecies of what's to come, and goes over the true children of the Most High, and who it is, right? And it goes over our Savior, our Redeemer, our Messiah, right? His Son. And it just bothers me to see our people, spread across, and some of them are in Egyptology, some of them are Muslim, some of them join, societies, some of them, go into all these other different religions. And it bothers me, man. And I have, like I said, I had questions posed about this, man. Like, is the scriptures really in the perspective of us so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Hispanics? Yes, it is. It's our history. All right, and I'm going to prove it to you today. a lot of people just, it's a lot of deception out there, right? And I seen this interesting, interview, right? Of course, this is not literal. Well, it was a literal interview, but so it basically talks about, the Satan, right? An interview with him, and one of the things that stood out to me, man, because I was just scrolling, I don't know if it was through TikTok or YouTube, but I came across it. I was like, man, I was like, dang. I clicked on it, watched it, man. And it was like, he said something very interesting. He said, I can't. He said, I know the so-called blacks are very spiritual, right? He said blacks, right? We all know who was referring to, Israelites, right? But he said, well, they're so spiritual, I can't make them believe that God isn't real. But he said, this is what I did. I made them, question the God of the scriptures, the Bible, the Holy Word. And I made them believe that the God of the Bible isn't the true God. Because they're so spiritual, right? I can't take God away from them because they're spiritual. So what did he do? He made people believe that the scriptures, the God of the scriptures, the Father, the eternal Father of heaven and earth, wasn't the true God. See, that's why you see so many of our people in different religions. They want to be Muslims. They want to, be Egyptology, whatever that is, right? They want to, be whatever it is, man. Anything other than the truth that's right in front of their face, and it's for a good. It's for a reason, right? This was all a plan, and I was like, damn, man, that's true. It's true. I was like, damn. See, these wicked, evil ones, these higher elites, they like to put stuff in your face, right? Those subliminals, right? Whether it be through movies, songs, or mainstream media, right? That's what they love to do. Just like it says in the word, man, they're looking at our dead bodies, man. Because what I mean by that, what the word mean by that is, they can see us, right? But we're spiritually, the elect ain't. But majority of our people are spiritually dead, right? They don't know who they are, where they came from, who's their creator, right? They gravitate towards other religions, right? They think the white man gave us the Bible. They think that it was told from their perspective. And this is not to bash anybody. It's to uplift, and bring, potentially bring you in the light, because I've traveled down that dark path before I came into this truth, and I'm still growing. There's always going to be something to learn, right? There's always going to be something to learn. There's never going to be a time where you say, I know everything, right? The time that's coming when we be changed to immortal, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, that will be that time, but that time is not now. There's time for everything, right? There's never going to be in this lifetime where we say, oh, I know everything, right? Even when we do get turned up, man, even when we do be changed, right? It's like there's always something that we are gonna elevate in, right? So, I pray this helps for y'all today. The ones that don't know, the so-called Negroes, the blacks, Native Americans, and so-called black Negroes, Native Americans, right, and the Hispanics are and make up the 12 tribes of Israel. And for the ones that I already know, I pray that this sharpens the sword even more. Just gives you more ammunition and just brings stuff back to your memory. But for the ones that don't know, I pray that this helps, edifies, and just sheds some light on some things that's going on in this world, and who you are to the Most High. All praises. So, with further ado, I want to go ahead and get in this scriptures. I want to go to my first precept, basically going over the 12 tribes and the names of the 12 tribes and the forefather. So let's go ahead and go to Genesis chapter 49, starting in verse. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start in verse 1. Let's go ahead and start in verse 1. And this is Jacob's last words to his sons, right? Verse 1. And it says, Then Jacob called together all his sons and said, Gather around me, and I will tell you what will happen to each of you in the days to come, right? So he's talking to all 12 of his sons, right? So it wasn't like the tribes. These are the forefathers of the tribes, right? He's talking to all 12 of his sons, and he's telling the prophecy of what happened in the end times, right? To their lineage. And it says, verse 2, Come and listen, you sons of Jacob. Listen to Israel, your father, right? Because his name was changed to Israel. Reuben, you are my firstborn and my strength, and the child of my vigorous youth. You are first in rank and first in power. But you are as unsurely as a flood, and you will be first no longer, right? Like the scripture says, the first shall be last and the last shall be first, right? It says, For you went to bed with my wife. You defiled my marriage couch. All right. Simeon and Levi are two of a kind. Their weapons are instruments of violence. May I never join in their meetings. May I never be a party to their plans. For their anger, they murdered men. And they crippled oxen just for a sport. A curse on their anger, for it is fierce. A curse on their wrath, for it is cruel. I will scatter them among the descendants of Jacob. I will disperse them throughout Israel. Judah, your brothers will praise you. You will grasp your enemies by the neck. All your relatives will bow before you. And that came to pass. You know, you can look at the lineage of the kings that came out of Judah, right? The Israel wanted the king so bad, you know, and you can see what has happened in history. And Judah's always been the forerunners, you know, whether it been in war or kingmanship, right? And it says in verse 9, Judah, my son, is a young lion that has finished eating his prey. Like a lion, he crouches and lies down, like a lioness who dares to rouse him up. The scepter will not depart from Judah, not the ruler's staff from his descendants, until the coming of the one to whom it belongs. Who's that? The one whom all the nations will honor. See, it prophesied about Yahweh all the way in Genesis. Right? All the way in Genesis. You know? Some people say, oh, he's not prophesied in the Old Testament. He's nowhere in the Old Testament. Yes, he is. Let's continue to read. Verse 11. He ties his foal to a grapevine, the colt of his donkey to a choice vine. He washes his clothes in wine, his robes in wines of grapes. Right? What did Yahushua do? He blessed and made water. He made wine, right? And also, if you read right here, it says his eyes are darker than wine, and his teeth, his eyes are darker than wine, and his teeth are whiter than milk. Zebulun will settle by the seashore and will be a harbor for ships. His borders will extend to Sinean, right? And in the KJV, you'll see it'll call his name Shiloh, right? I don't see it in here, and this is the NLT. So like I'm reading out the NLT, so I don't see it in here, but it'll say his name is Shiloh. So let's go to the KJV, right? Genesis 49, verse 11. And we'll go ahead. Actually, let's see. Yeah, let's go to verse 10, because that's where it said it at. Verse 10. So it says, the scepter shall not be departed from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. And unto him shall all the gathering of the people be, right? So when Yahushua gets back, that's when the gathering of the people to be. All the ones of our people that scatter across the four corners of the earth, we're being gathered together as sheaves in the floor, like it says in the scriptures. So when Yahushua get back, we're already going to be taken up, right? Via chariots, man. So we'll be gathered together when he comes. All praises, and that's when Mystery Babylon is going to fall. Like it says in the word, it says we're going to be saved out, right? It says we're going to be saved out of the great tribulation, right? So going back to the scriptures, Genesis 49 and 13, it says Zebulun will settle by the seashore and will be a harbor for ships. His borders will extend to Sinean. Issachar is a sturdy donkey, right? Resting between two saddle packs. When he sees how good the countryside is and how pleasant the land, he will bend his shoulders to the load and submit himself to hard labor. Dan will govern his people like any other tribe in Israel. And I got some more information on Dan. We're going to get into that pretty soon. All praises. Dan will be a snake beside the road, a poisonous viper along the path that bites the horse's hoof, so its rider is thrown off. I trust in your salvation, O Father. Gad will be attacked by martyring bands, but he will attack them when they retreat. Asher will dine on rich foods and produce food fit for kings. Naphtali is a doe set free that bears beautiful twines. Joseph is the foal of a wild donkey, the foal of a wild donkey at spring, one of the wild donkeys on a ridge. The archers attacked him savagely. They shot at him and harassed him, but his bow remained taut, and his arms are strengthened by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob, by the shepherd of the rock of Israel. May the Father of your fathers help you. May the Almighty bless you with blessings in the heavens above, and blessings of the water's depths below, and blessings of the breast of the womb. May the blessings of your fathers suppress the blessings of the ancient mountains, reaching to the heights of the eternal hills. May these beings Blessings rest on the head of Joseph, who is the prince among his brothers. Benjamin is a ravishing wolf, devouring his enemies in the morning and dividing his plunder in the evening. These are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father said as he told his sons goodbye. He blessed each one with an appropriate message. All praises. So, you know, just to get through that, the forefathers of the 12 tribes, right? So, I'm going to name them off again. Judah, which are the Negroes, right? Benjamin, which are the so-called Jamaicans or West Indians. Levi, which are the so-called Haitians. Simeons, which are so-called Dominicans. Zebulon, which are so-called from Guatemala to Panama. Ephraim, which are the so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, which are so-called Cubans. Gad, which are the North Indians, right? Reubens, which are the so-called Seminole Indians. And Naphtali, which are the Argentina to Chile. Asher, which are the Colombians. Issachar, which are the Mexicans, right? They gave us bywords, y'all. So, and when the Northern Kingdom went out, they mingled with other nations, and they adopted customs of the other nations too as well, right? So they became these bywords and all this type of stuff, and we all know what happened to Judah, right? We went into the land of our captivity once again, right? We was put in slavery, and that's where we got the so-called byword named Negroes, right? Benjamin, all that, Levi, right? So, I just wanted to go over the 12 tribes, right, and what their names are and who they are today, right? Now, I want to go into Deuteronomy 28, and I want to start in verse 15. So let's go there. Deuteronomy 28, and I want to start in verse 15. And the reason why I'm going here, right? This is the curses of the disobedience, right? The reason why I'm going here is because this is one of the ways you can tie into who's who, right? There's nobody on the face of the earth besides the so-called Negroes, Native American, and Hispanics that have went through these curses and reproaches, right? There's nobody on the face of the earth that's have went through this as long as our people have, right? And you'll see it, right? You'll see all the curses that came about, and that some majority are still going on, right? So Deuteronomy 28:15 reads, "But if you refuse to listen to the Most High, your God, and do not obey all the commandments, decrees I am giving you today, all these curses will come and overwhelm you," right? And we got to remember, yes, the world is given hands of the wicked, right? But y'all remember in the scriptures where it said that the light that's came from the Father, right, trickled all the way down into the ones that rule this world, Yaldabaoth, right, the fallen, right. Well, actually, it was just the Yaldabaoth, right, but he has that divine knowledge because of what was in him. So this is like a mirror of what the divine laws and statutes are in the divine realm. So yeah, don't get it twisted. Just because the world is given the hands of wicked doesn't mean that the commandments are not to be to uphold, because it doesn't come for the wicked ones, and they don't even know that, right? It comes from the Most High Himself. All praises, right? Just like when Yaldabaoth created, and the angels created man in their image. They didn't know what they were looking at, but they created it out of the reflection of the Son of Man, out of the Son of God, right? Hamashiach, right? So this is like a carbon copy of the divine realm, and divine laws that are up there are here, as above, so below. That's where they get that from, right? Because some of them are knowledgeable of that, right? They know that this God of this world isn't the true creator, right, of everything. It comes from somewhere, right? But you can see the flaws in this world. You can see the wickedness. You can see the evil things that go on that would never go on in the vicinity of where the Most High resides, right? That's why when Yahushua come back, this world is going to be conquered and put under subjection and will and power and authority of the Father. Simple. None of this wicked stuff that's going on now will be going on when Hamashiach get back, right? But the divine's laws, they still are here for a reason, and people disobey them, so people went into captivity, right? Went into captivity over and over and over again, right? So these curses of Deuteronomy is what happened to us, man. That's why I'm gonna just read it. Deuteronomy 28, right? We're gonna start in verse 15 again. But if you refuse to listen to the Most High, your God, and do not obey all the commands and decrees I am giving you today, all these curses will come and overwhelm you. Your towns and your fields will be cursed. Your fruit and baskets and bread beds will be cursed. Your children and your crops will be cursed. The offsprings of your herds and flocks will be cursed. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you will be cursed, right? Did we not lose our flocks? Did we not used to be in kings, right? Have princesses, have cattle, everything. Now people are in our land. We don't own nothing, right? In that circumstance, right? And if you do, you have to do something wicked to get it, right? Sell your soul, do all kinds of things. They just the oppressor is oppressing, right? And this is what the curses, this is because our people disobeyed the laws of the Most High, right? They disobeyed the laws of the Most High, and this is what came about. Chastisement. And it says, whenever you go and wherever you do, you will be cursed. The Father himself will send on your curses, confusion, and frustration in everything you do, until at last you are completely destroyed for doing evil and abandoning me. The Father will afflict you with diseases until none of you are left in the land you are about to enter and accompany. Right? All our people always getting sick, man. Y'all ever wonder why? I was doing research, man. I found out the Black Plague was really for our people that was over there in Africa, man. and it's crazy, man. Like, this is why all the things that happen to our people, this is why you see us in the position that we are now, because of what happened and transpired in the past, in the ancient times, right? And you still got people doing wicked stuff today. Still got them doing wicked stuff today. And some of the people we have to pay as a nation, right? We can't, that's how the Most High operates. That's why, you see righteous people and we go through these curses, Now, the good news is we're coming out of them, right? I'm going to get to the good news, shortly. But I do want to read a little bit more of these curses because y'all can go read through it, right? Deuteronomy 28, start at 1 through 68, right? You can read through all of it. But I want to hit a couple more and, get another precept and then all praises. So, it says right here, the Lord will strike you with wasting diseases, fever, and inflammation. with scorching heat, drought, and with blight and mildew. These disasters will pursue you until you die, right? We still got people over there in Africa that's struggling, you know, struggling, right? And so many people say that, okay, we're African, we are African culture, right? Y'all got to understand something. History only goes back so far in these schools. You got to dig for this information. You can't just read on Google, on Google and expect to find the truth, right? You have to continue to dig. The algorithm is in their hands, right? That's why you got to use websites like DuckDuckGo. You got to go on TikTok, right? To get deep truth, right? You got to dig for it. You got to seek it out. Like the Most High says, seek out the kingdom of heaven at first, and everything else should be added unto you. That's why you should always go to the Father first, pray, and get in this word. And then everything else will be added unto you. You can see things much more clearly. You can compare and contrast. See what it says in the word and compare it to what we actually went through. They didn't tell our history back to slavery and when I was in school, right? They whitewashed our history. So why not look past of us being in Africa? Why not look who was originally in Israel over there, right? Who was originally in those lands over there, right? Because we fled into Africa. And most of them, the so-called Africans over there are not African. They're Hebrew Israelites, right? That's what people don't know. I see everybody over here, they want to be everything other than a Jew of what the Holy Word says, right? Because the devil deceives, right? like you said in the interview, hey, I know these people are spiritual, so I can't take away God from them, but I can tell them the God of the Bible is not the true God. That's including you not knowing your heritage. You're not knowing the history, right? Who we truly are to the Most High. We are His children. And that statement is still important to this day. If it wasn't, it would not be relevant in the scriptures, right? It's relevant because it says it in His word. He says He was going to turn the curses from His people and put us back. He said He was going to make us the head and not the tail, right? Let me go to it. I believe it's in, let me see. Let me get that real quick for y'all. All right, Deuteronomy 28:13. It says, if you listen to these commandments of the Most High, your God, that I am giving you today, and if you carefully do them, the Most High will make you the head and not the tail, and you will always be on top and never at the bottom. You must not turn away from any of these commandments I am giving you today, nor follow other gods and worship them, right? If the children of Israel wasn't relevant today, then why did He say He was going to put us back in rulership, right? So many people want to discredit these churches. They say that we're all Gentiles, and those Jewish people over there is the true Jews. They're not. And I will prove it to you. It even says it in the Holy Word, right? So let's go to it. Let's go to it real quick. We're going to go to Revelations 3:9. Let's go there. Revelations 3:9. And it reads, verse 8. Let's start at verse 8. I know all the things you do, and I have opened a door for you that no one else can close. You have little strength, yet you obey my word and did not deny me. Verse 9, look, I will force those who belong to Satan's synagogues, the synagogue of Satan, those liars who say they are Jews but are not, to come and bow down at your feet. They will acknowledge that you are the ones I love. So if Israel, the true Israelites, aren't relevant, then why do it say that, right? And this is not to bash anybody else, but it's the truth, the holy word, and I am not a respecter of persons. Right? This is for our people to know who they are. Now, are the Gentiles going to be grafted into the kingdom? Absolutely. Right? salvation was for his children first. And Hamashiach did that for us. And now it's our job to deliver the word to the rest of the nations. However that may be. They're different parts of the body, and people do different things to exemplify that. All praises. You don't have to be somebody who stands in and delivers a word as such, right? You can do it many different ways to be an example, right? But the truth is the truth, right? And the truth will set you free. Now, like it says right here, it says, look, I will force those who belong to Satan's synagogues, the liars who say they are Jews but are not, to come and bow down to your feet. Who is it talking about? Who is the ones that claiming to be Jews in this time? Who is it? I'm gonna wait. It's the Jewish people over there, right? If you look at the definition of Jewish, it means pertaining to, like, or as. It's not something that is the original original one, right? And you have to understand, the Assyrians took over that land way back in the times when we inhabited to it, right? And then we fled it to the Assyria, right? We were captive there, and then we dispersed out in Africa. That's how that chain effect happened, to where we were sold into slavery by Esau, which are the Arabs over there, and then the Japhites came and bought us, right? And then they took us over to, which is called Egypt in the scriptures for bondage, right? They took us over there again to enslave us, like it says in the word. Let's go there. Let's go there, and that'll be the last one. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It says, then the Father will send you back to Egypt in ships to a destination I promised you would never see again. Right? There you will offer to sell yourselves to your enemies as slaves, but no one will buy you, right? So we were sold into slavery, and then nobody is gonna buy us here in our captivity, right? And that's exactly what happened. Now, Egypt is it represents bondage, right? So of course we're not literally back in Egypt, right? Now some people might say that the maps is wrong, which I don't have no knowledge on that just yet. I'm gonna search out the matter though. But yeah, that's interesting. But just to keep things basic right now, we got brought back here into the land of Egypt again with ships, right? The transatlantic slave trade. Predominantly more Judah, right, than anybody else. But it did happen to our Native American brothers that were slaughtered here, right? And our Hispanic brothers over there, brothers and sisters, they were put in captivity too, just not like us, right? Not like us, right? And we're gonna get into that more in the next vid. What our people went through, in this time. But all praises, man, to the eternal Father of heaven and earth for this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and his holy word, his truth. All praises due. Something slight today, y'all, but this is more so for the people that just don't have the knowledge of this. I know it's somebody out there, right? If you, hey, share this with your family, right? Because this is important. You Jews out there, right? This one's is for y'all, man. All praises. So I'm gonna leave it at that. We're gonna continue in the next vid. I love y'all. Giving all honor and glory and praises to the eternal Father of heaven and earth. Yahweh Bashem Mashiach Yahweh Shah. All praises due. I'll catch y'all in the next vid. Shalom.